Hi lovelies, my name is Diana and today's video is going to be a story time of how we went over to New York and got robbed on Christmas Eve. It sounds weird saying it, but that's what happened. We got robbed on Christmas Eve. So if you want to hear how we got robbed on Christmas Eve and how I nearly got my mother deported at the border, keep on watching. And before doing that, please don't forget to comment, tell me what you think of the video, rate it, and if you like it, subscribe, thumbs up, and I'll do more because I have so many stories that I need to share. Alright, so let's get started. So let me set the stage. This is Diana at age 7. I was 7 years old and my mom and her friends decided that they wanted to go over to New York to celebrate Christmas with their respective families. So all of us got into a car, 3 kids, 3 adults, and drove across the border to New York. Once we got to New York, the plan was my mom and I would be picked up by our family, and my mom's friends and their 2 kids would be they drive off to their respective families, and then we meet up at a certain date, and then we drive back over to Toronto because that's where we're from, Toronto. So this is pre 9/11, so we went across the border, and at the time when you drive over, you just have to show proof of citizenship, a passport in some instances, and they answer a few little questions and then you're on your way. CBSA workers, Canadian border security, Canadian border people, they were really nice. You ask you a few questions and you're on your way. Everything's all good, right? Everything's all good. Keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. It's going to be relevant at the end of the story. So moving on. So we get to New York, and as planned, my mom's family comes and picks us up and we take off, and then they take off to their family, and all is good. So fast forward now to Christmas Eve. The plan was my cousin, we're going to call him Lenny, was going to pick us up, and we were going to go around and we're going to do some Christmas Eve shopping. We were going to do some grocery shopping because the whole family was coming to our house to celebrate Christmas dinner, because they haven't seen my mom in ages. Now my mom is Jamaican, I'm half Jamaican, and my mom's Jamaican, and she hadn't seen her family, these family members, since she left like 8-9 years ago. So everybody was stoked. So there we are in Lenny's car. Lenny's girlfriend is in the passenger seat. Lenny's driving, I'm in the back, a little 7-year-old, and my mom. So we leave out early and we make a day adventure of it. So Lenny takes us on a tour through the good neighborhoods, the bad neighborhoods, all that great stuff. You know what I mean? And in between, we're shopping. I'm picking out gifts for my cousins. We're picking out stuff for ourselves to take back to Canada, because let me tell you, at the time, Canada was not on trend and on curve with fashion. Literally, the States were 3 months ahead of us, and if you could afford to go to the States, because our dollar was really bad, if you could afford to go to the States and shop, okay, and come back and be like, yeah, so I got this, I got that, blah blah blah, people would be like, oh my gosh, you've got money. So of course, my mom wanted to come stunt. So we're shopping and everything was great. My dad didn't come with us. He decided he didn't want to. I don't know why, but he didn't want to. So yeah, there we are in New York shopping. Everything's all good. At this point, my parents are like separated. So in case you're wondering. Anyway, so we're shopping, touring, having a great time, like great time. At this point, we amassed so much stuff. Let me tell you, the trunk couldn't close. The back seat, I was practically lying on top of stuff, okay? I didn't even have a seat. Thank God I was really skinny, or I don't know how I was gonna get back to the house. I mean, they're probably gonna have to like leave me at the store for a second and drop the stuff at the house and then come back. Like, that's how tight space was in the car. Like, there was no space. That's what stuff we had. So we did our grocery shopping, bought the turkey, bought the ackee and sauce, bought everything, the curry, everything, the goat meat, the oxtail. Oh, and we're getting ready to go home. But Lenny's girlfriend is like, oh, you know, I just want to stop, okay, and just check out this electronics store, just take a look at the price for something. I might buy it, I might not. So Lenny's like, okay. So while she's about to get out the car, he's like, you know, let's all go, we'll just take a couple seconds, we won't be long. Well, a couple seconds turned into a little while, and by the time we got back to the car, the window shattered. They took all our stuff, like everything. When I tell you everything was gone out of the car, everything was gone out the car. The food, the oxtail, the goat meat, everything gone. I was like, my toys, all the things I wanted to buy for my cousins, my clothes, everything, cell phones, everything was gone. I was like, Lenny was so upset. He was like, I should have known better. I live in New York. He was just really hard on himself, and he was just really, really angry and sad at the same time. My mom was like, you know what? It's okay. Like, at least we're alive. You know, at least the car's here. We can get back. We're not stranded. So my mom's trying to see the bigger picture, because she's like, we're foreigners. We're in New York, okay? And okay, yeah, they took all our stuff and the food, but at least we have a car to get back. Lenny was like, no, I should have known better. I'm from New York. You know, we shouldn't have stayed so long in there. Lenny's girlfriend was like, I'm so sorry. Blah, blah, blah. We were on our way home. And I was like, it's okay. Let's just get back to the house. Let's just get back to the house. Fine. So Lenny brushes the seat off so I can sit. And I'm kind of like, in my little 7-year-old mind, I'm like, well, at least I get somewhere to sit now, because I really didn't have anywhere to sit before. I think they could have like floated me on top of the bags. That's how like high the back seat was filled with stuff. Yeah, so we go home. Now Lenny is feeling guilty, and he's upset, and he is driving like a maniac, okay? As a 7-year-old, the first thing in my head is not to put my seatbelt on when I get into a car, but he was driving so crazy that I was like I was scared. I was scared. There was no such thing as a red light. There was no such thing as a yellow light. It was all green. Stop signs? What stop signs? Those don't exist. That just means that you just need to slow down a little bit while you take that curve. Sharply take that curve. Slow down a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. We were just happy to be back at the house alive after all of that. Like, first of all, we get robbed. Then my cousin is driving like a maniac because he's mad at himself and mad at the people who stole all of our stuff. And he's gonna figure out how he's gonna explain to the family who are waiting for the food to start cooking. Where's the food? Where is it? Yeah, and at this point, all the stores are closed because it's Christmas Eve. So where are we gonna go? Where are we gonna go grocery shopping? We're gonna get food from. So now he has to explain to our family, and like I said, this is my Jamaican side of the family, and people were like, what? So now family members who were thinking, oh, I could just come and eat, you know, we're gonna have a good time. Now it's like, okay, so I have this in my fridge, my freezer, I can bring this over, or I can season this, or I can cook this and bring it, I can cook that, I could do this, I could do that. People are pissed because they just want to come eat, talk, laugh, run to, joke, and go about their business and God and yard. But now they can't do that. They can't just run to, joke, and God and yard, because now they gotta cook. People are mad. My cousins and all the little gifts I wanted to get them, yeah, gone. All the money we spent on clothes, like little clothes for me to wear to school and stuff like that, gone, 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 gone. Bye, see ya, peace, deuces, gone, out the door. Yeah, that's how we got robbed on Christmas Eve. To make it worse, remember in the beginning I told you, remember the CBSA and the Canadian Border Services people, you know, remember them, and how, you know, it was pre 9/11, so things were kind of a little bit more relaxed. You just have to show proof of citizenship or permanent resident status and whatever. So according to plan, now that Christmas is over, Boxing Day is over, all that great stuff, we're all gonna get in the car and we're gonna drive back to Toronto, Canada. So we get in the car and we're getting ready and we're driving and we get to the border. This is the great part. We're at the border. Here we are. Now, 7-year-old Diana in the back, 2 other children, my mom, husband and wife. Husband's driving, wife's in the front. CBSA guy. welcome back to Canada. Thanks. We're all like excited, especially my mother. She's like, I just want to go home. So he goes, is there anything that you guys want to declare? The adults are like, no. And he goes, he's like, is everybody in the car a Canadian citizen? This is where young Diana decides, I'm gonna interject there because I've got the answer. I'm like, no, we're Canadian citizens, but my mom isn't. And I turn and I point at her and I look at her, and he was like, now, let me tell you, the driver who had his back turned was like, his wife, she looked at me, I looked at my mom, and then looked at me, looked at my mom like, oh my God, I hope that your papers are legit. Like, it was bad. My mom was in the back going. So the CBSA guy starts laughing. He's like, really? Oh. Are you a landed immigrant? My mom's like, and she goes out with her papers, goes in her bag, gets her papers, hands it to the front. The driver hands it to the CBSA officer and looks at him like, oh dear Jesus, dear Jesus. So he looks it over, he's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're landed, okay, all right, okay, you go. Well, did you enjoy your trip? My mom's like, no, we got robbed. It was like, oh. Like, all that sucks. Oh, it's New York, and I'm a small talk, blah, blah, blah. He goes, okay, well, welcome back to Canada. Enjoy your stay, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. We drive on. We got, I'd like to say 30 meters before the driver had to pull off to the side because he was laughing so hard that he was afraid he was going to crash the car. We sat on the side of the road after we passed the initial checkpoint, and he sat there and laughed, and he was like, oh my God. So we're going to say my mom's name is Pat because I'm not going to say her name. I was like, Pat, what if you weren't landed? We'd have left you at the border. And my mom's like, I know. She turns and looks at me, she's like, she wasn't mad, but she's like, why did you say that? I was like, because he asked, is everybody in the car landed a Canadian citizen? And I said, no, because you're not. You're landed. She was like, what if I wasn't? I was like, but you are. That's why I said it. Because that means, doesn't that mean that they can't kick you out? That you have to stay permanently? The driver died laughing. Died. It's a little itch, sorry. Died laughing. He was like, he had to get out the car to breathe. Like, he was laughing so hard. He was like, I would have to leave at the border. So yeah, that's my story. That's how we got robbed in New York on Christmas Eve, and I nearly got my mom deported. That was a little bonus tidbit for you guys because it ties all in. So I figured I'll just drop that. But yeah, that's how we got robbed. That's my story about how we got robbed in New York on Christmas Eve. So I hope you guys like my story. Please don't forget to comment. Tell me what you think below. Have you ever gotten robbed on like a significant day, like a holiday or something like that? And if you did, what did you do? Like, what did you do? You know, it's devastating. I got 7 years old. I don't really understand. Like, I didn't really, like, you know, if it happened now, I'd be like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. But at the time, I was like, oh, that really sucks. But I didn't really understand, right? I didn't really get it. I didn't really get the impact, right? But yeah, that's my story. So please don't forget, like I said, to comment. Thumbs me up if you liked it. Let me know if you wanted to know any more stories. Trust me, I have so many to tell. So many stories. My mom doesn't even know so many stories. I'm gonna share them with you because, yeah, I want to. Anyway, thanks for joining. Love you guys. See you guys later. Mwah, 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 mwah. Bye.